Hey guys, this is Callum from EnglishShooting and welcome back to the channel. This is a topic that in many different videos has been covered before, but I don't think there has been a specific video on the subject of long-barreled pistols here within England, Scotland and Wales. And apologies if you've just been sent this link, because I intend on using this video whenever the question is asked, because whenever there's a video involving a long-barreled pistol on this channel, without fail there'd be a question going, what on earth is that? Or why do you have that rod on the end? It's not doing anything at all apart from making it more difficult to shoot or getting in the way. Or why do all your guns seem to have moderators or suppressors on them? When handguns were banned in 1997 after Dunblane, they didn't actually ban handguns, it was short arms, and we have the definition in the UK of short arms and long arms. Now, the definition of a short arm is anything with a barrel less than 12 inches long and an overall length of under 24 inches long. So anything that's under those lengths got reclassified from Section 1, which is what you can own under a firearm certificate. Anybody that goes sport shooting, a member of a Home Office approved club, or hunts can obtain a firearm certificate, and it moved it onto Section 5, which is effectively any other weapon. It's where machine guns come under, it's where explosive devices can come under, and also short arms, i.e. handguns. So they're not specifically banned, they are reclassified, and Section 5 is incredibly hard to get hold of. You need a very good reason, and it's usually dealing with the military, dealing with the police, or doing something with your business that requires that authority to use those guns to be able to test or sell. So anything less than a 12-inch barrel or anything with an overall length less than 24 inches cannot be owned by your average sport shooter or your average hunter. But this doesn't specifically void pistols, revolvers or handguns, and this is what gave birth to the long-barreled pistol. Long barrel because, well, it needs to be at least 12 inches long, which is of course quite long for a pistol or any sort of handgun. The first long barrel pistol was actually made by Alan Westlake. He is regarded as the godfather of long barrel pistols and has also brought out a number of different handguns that are very good interpretations of the UK law and allows some resemblance of a handgun to be able to be owned under Section 1 under a firearm certificate. So going back to the long barrel pistols and asking what the hell are they, the rod on the end that you will see is not functional at all. It is purely required there for law. So you have the 12-inch barrel that gives you a reasonable amount of length, but it won't make most handguns over the 24 inches required. So we mask the barrels by putting these fake suppressors, fake moderators on there, some of which aren't fake. You can get integrally suppressed long-barreled pistols where they are functional, but still, even with that fake or functional moderator on there, the overall length is not long enough, which means you need to find some way to extend it, and the most simple way is to put this rod. Now usually they are affixed or attached to the grip of the gun themselves, and it will come out at a right angle, and overall point to point will make that firearm 24 inches or greater in length. And again, long barrel pistol is not actually a legally defined phrase or term, and it's almost like a little bit of a grey area within the law. By definition of it meeting those length criteria, they are actually regarded legally as a long arm and therefore a rifle. But most police forces have a subcategory which is long barrel pistol. Now this isn't in the guidance, this isn't actually specified by the Home Office for the police to do, but they do treat them differently than any other rifle. The grey area is because there is no legal definition who actually decides what is or isn't a long barreled pistol, and something being classified as a long barrel pistol, because it's not therefore a rifle as the police are seeing it, you lose out on certain exemptions like the club exemption, which allows you to share rifles and share other firearms under a section 1 certificate between all of your club members, and long barrel pistols are not actually included within that exception. Now, there have been a couple of clubs that have taken their local police forces to court and have been successful based on the definition of a long arm. There was one pretty famous case within London, and they stood in front of a jury and said, well, hang on a minute, the definition of a long arm here, i.e. a carbine or a rifle, is over 24 inches long and a barrel longer than 12 inches. Does this gun conform to that? And by definition it does. So in that case, the club was successful. They were able to sort of push back on the police and say, look, you can call it what you want, by the law it is a rifle, it conforms to the long arms criteria, and therefore can be shared under the exemptions like any other rifle. So it is a little bit of a funny one. Yes, they do look a little bit like Frankenstein guns, but it really is the only way to be able to own a handgun, a pistol, a revolver under a firearm certificate in the UK. We can have muzzle loading revolvers. That's specifically what Alan Westlake specializes in now, but the process of reloading them is quite arduous, it's quite time intensive, and if you're out there trying to train for, say, IPSC or 3-gun matches, you want something that is obviously going to be semi-automatic, something that takes a magazine. Now, due to the other restrictions on full bore rifles here in the UK, so semi-automatic full bore rifles again have been classified as section 5, you can't own them for sporting use here. That rule has then trickled down into long barrel pistols. So the only semi-automatic long barrel pistol and rifle that you can own is in 2.2 rimfire. That's why you see so many 2.2 long rifle long barrel pistols. The reason you can have revolvers in centerfire cartridges is because they are revolving rifles, which again are completely legal and are allowed in full bore rifles because they're not classed as semi-automatic. So you can get a 357 long barreled revolver. The long barreled revolver is exactly the same. It will have a 12-inch barrel and an overall length with the rod of 24 inches, and of course you can have a 2.2 rimfire semi-automatic long barrel pistol as well. The rods themselves, now I've been fairly fortunate in being able to shoot a large majority of the available long barrel pistols and revolvers here in the UK, and I can say from my experience the rod doesn't interfere that much when you're shooting in terms of your draw, in terms of holstering, and certainly whilst the gun is holstered, moving around obstacles, you do have to be careful because that is protruding quite high, that rod, and you can easily catch it or snag it on something. But whilst you're shooting it, the rod are usually put at an angle so it doesn't interfere with your arm. So as you're shooting it, you don't notice a huge difference. Now, with the extended barrel as well, once you've got your sight picture, you don't see the extended barrel. Yes, when you're moving the gun, the extra weight and length in front does make a slight difference in the movement. And in terms of the balance, yes, if you have a lot of extra weight out front from that longer barrel, it is going to make the gun front heavy. Some people have countered this by putting counterbalances on the rods and getting a really good balance to the gun, but that overall does add weight. What at Magload certainly we've found is focusing on removing the weight out of the front, and the Walther PPQ is a great example of that, swapping out the steel shroud for carbon fiber, putting a much more reduced nut on the front, makes that gun very, very well balanced overall, and is certainly my choice for long barrel pistol here in the UK. So there's a quick fire education on long barrel pistols. I hope you understand now why the rods are on the back of those guns. It certainly isn't because of our choice, it is a legal necessity, and I hope as well you now understand why the barrels need to be so long and why They are called long barrel pistols and long barreled revolvers. If you have any other questions, please hit me in the comments section below. I'll be happy to try and answer as many as you guys have. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Please share the video, and also please consider subscribing to the channel for future videos and content. And as always, guys, I hope to see you soon.